What drives archaeologists to return to Chaco Canyon, decade after decade, in search of answers? Why does this remote desert landscape, seemingly desolate and barren, hold such a powerful allure? These questions have haunted scholars and explorers alike as they probe the mysteries of Chaco Canyon, a site that stands as one of the most enigmatic and extraordinary in the annals of ancient history. For over a century, this canyon has been a focal point of archaeological investigation, and yet much about the people who once thrived there remains shrouded in mystery. Chaco Canyon, located in the high desert of what is now northwestern New Mexico, was the center of a remarkable civilization from around AD 900 to 1150. The Chacoans, as they are known, constructed massive stone buildings, known as great houses, with a level of architectural sophistication that was unprecedented in the ancient Americas. But what was the purpose of these grand structures? And why did the Chacans choose to build them in such a harsh and unforgiving environment? To answer these questions, we must delve deep into the heart of the Chaco phenomenon, a moment in history that continues to captivate and confound: the great houses, monuments of mystery. At the core of Chaco Canyon's mystery are the great houses, massive multi-story buildings constructed from meticulously quarried sandstone blocks. The most famous of these is Pueblo Bonito, a sprawling complex that once contained over 600 rooms and rose 4 stories high. The precision with which these structures were built is astonishing, with walls perfectly aligned to cardinal directions and celestial events such as the solstices and equinoxes. But why did the Chacoans undertake such monumental construction projects? Were these great houses residential buildings housing hundreds of people? Or were they ceremonial centers designed for rituals and gatherings? Some archaeologists believe that the great houses served multiple purposes, functioning as both residences and places of religious significance. The discovery of kivas, circular subterranean chambers used for religious ceremonies, within these buildings supports this theory. Yet, the exact nature of life within the great houses remains elusive. Archaeological evidence suggests that the population of Chaco Canyon may have been relatively small, leading some to speculate that the great houses were not permanent residences, but rather served as temporary accommodations for people who traveled to Chaco for specific events. The presence of extensive storage rooms indicates that the Chacoans were engaged in large-scale food storage, which would have been necessary to support large gatherings of people during ceremonies or feasts. The mysteries surrounding the great houses are compounded by the lack of definitive answers about who exactly lived in them, how they were organized, and what daily life might have looked like. The sheer scale of these buildings, coupled with their intricate design and alignment, suggests a society with a high degree of organization and a deep understanding of both architecture and astronomy. But the full story of the great houses and the people who built them remains tantalizingly out of reach. The Chacoan road system, highways of an ancient empire. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Chaco phenomenon is the extensive road system that radiates out from the canyon, connecting it to other regions across the Southwest. These roads, some of which stretch for dozens of miles in straight lines, are a testament to the Chacoans' engineering prowess and their desire to connect with distant communities. But why did they build these roads, and what role did they play in Chacoan society? The Chacoan road system is unlike anything else in the ancient Americas. Unlike the roads of the Roman Empire, which were designed primarily for practical transportation, the Chacoan roads appear to have had a more symbolic or ceremonial function. Some researchers suggest that these roads were used for pilgrimages, linking Chaco Canyon to outlying settlements and sacred sites. Others believe that the roads facilitated the movement of goods and resources, enabling the Chacoans to maintain their complex society in an otherwise resource-poor environment. Artifacts found along these roads, such as pottery, turquoise, and even cacao, indicate that Chaco Canyon was a hub of long-distance trade, with connections extending as far as Mesoamerica. The roads may have played a crucial role in this trade network, allowing the Chacoans to exchange goods and ideas with other cultures across vast distances. But the true purpose of these roads, and the extent of their use, remains one of the great unanswered questions of Chacoan archaeology, astronomy, and spirituality: the Chacoan connection to the cosmos. The Chacoans' mastery of architecture extended beyond the physical realm and into the celestial. The alignment of their great houses with solar and lunar cycles suggests that the Chacoans were deeply attuned to the movements of the heavens. But what drove this obsession with astronomy, and how did it influence their spiritual and religious practices? At Chaco Canyon, the interplay between architecture and astronomy is most evident in the alignments of the great houses. Many of these structures are oriented to capture the sun's rays during the solstices and equinoxes, marking the passage of time and the changing of the seasons. The famous sun dagger petroglyph on Fajada Butte, for example, marks the summer solstice with a precise beam of sunlight that cuts through a spiral carving. Such alignments suggest that the Chacans used their buildings not only as places of residence or ceremony, but also as astronomical observatories. This connection to the cosmos likely had profound spiritual significance for the Chacoans. The careful planning and execution of these alignments indicate a society that saw the heavens as an integral part of their worldview. The movement of the sun, moon, and stars may have been seen as a reflection of the natural order, with rituals and ceremonies timed to celestial events. But how did the Chacoans acquire such precise knowledge of astronomy, and what role did it play in their religious life? These are questions that continue to puzzle archaeologists and astronomers alike. Conclusion: the enduring mystique of Chaco Canyon. As we look back on the Chaco phenomenon, we are left with more questions than answers. What drove the Chacoans to build such grand structures in the middle of a desolate desert? How did they sustain their society in an environment that offered so few resources? And why did this remarkable civilization eventually collapse, leaving behind only the stone remnants of their achievements? Chaco Canyon remains one of the most enigmatic and fascinating sites in the ancient world. Its mysteries have drawn generations of archaeologists, each hoping to unlock the secrets of the Chacoans and their extraordinary civilization. Yet, despite decades of research, the full story of Chaco Canyon remains tantalizingly out of reach. Perhaps it is this very elusiveness that continues to captivate us, drawing us back to the canyon in search of answers. In the end, Chaco Canyon is more than just an archaeological site. It is a testament to the ingenuity, resilience, and spiritual depth of the ancestral Puebloans. The Chaco phenomenon stands as a unique moment in history, a reminder of the enduring power of human creativity and the mysteries that still lie buried in the sands of time.